tus esteros I båda origheterna liklistan på dem.
What the heck going on in NYC? Apparently an active shooter.
Happening on X right now between Andrew Tate and Matt Walsh. And it's been a long time coming.
Him saying that anime is demonic full stop is stupid, because there are animes that I won't watch. Matt Walsh could eat my left nut, and he also said Mexican food isn't good. Like, he's the type to say Taco Bell better than real authentic Mexican food. Any person that says Mexican food isn't good is a lying piece of shit, or they're racist. High School DxD is crazy. Okay, no, that's different. That's a satanic anime. Fundamentally, High School DxD is just a satanic anime. Now, if you want to say that there's like different religions, so based off of that, like Naruto, the entire power system is Buddhism. Susanoo, Amaterasu, what else? Chidori. Like, these are all like Buddhist deities that exist in their culture. So I guess if you're classifying it as that, there's influence from things that are not the God of the Bible. But to say anime is demonic, that come out in America every year. Ashura and his brother, but I'm gonna let you right. It's Cain and Abel were Ashura and Indra. That's crazy. I've never thought about it like that. Asian food better. Asian food's healthier, so I eat it more. But I think Mexican food, boss.
In my opinion, this
is just nuts. He hates anime personally. Exactly. And I love anime personally, so it pissed me off. And I don't like it.
And it is a
BRB, for sure.
Kind of an internal battle that all young men have been fighting for as long as we have been red-pilled, for as long as we have seen the light on a lot of these topics. And I don't know how many of you have been watching this, but Andrew Tate and Matt Walsh,
you gotta go lift. Oh, you're good, bro. No worries, my G.
Is nominally
I'd be disappointed in you if you skipped the lift to watch the stream.
Muslim. He is a pimp.
If you got an AirPod, have it on in the background if you want, but no big deal.
Hey, what's up, dude? A pimp. He's an actual pornographer, and he has women on sex cameras, webcam shows and porn and things like that, and he makes money off of it. He apparently has multiple wives and children with those wives, sleeps with many women, and Tate is an advocate.
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
Polygamy. He believes that young men should form clans where they get together with their brothers or their buddies, and they have many wives, and they live communally, and they have as many kids as possible. And he comes at it from the perspective of, let's say, the red pill camp. Let's call it the red pill dating camp. We use red pill in a different way. When we say red
drop
pill,
one of them on a hospital floor. Oh, that's brutal.
We're referring to.
I did that shit yesterday. That's crazy. Andrew Tate, I am good. I only want one wife. Bro, have you ever been talking to multiple girls at once? Do you know how exhausting that is? Especially if you're spending time with multiple of them? That's exhausting, bro. Who wants to do that? That sucks. It's so exhausting entertaining multiple girls at once. That's not a flex to me. You know what that is to me? Like, wow, you don't take yourself seriously. If somebody's bragging about having like multiple girlfriends and playing the field like that, what I think about them is, okay, you're obsessed with women and not your future. I don't want to be around you. That's what that signals to me. If not, I'll be back in an hour. For sure, Brody. All good.
Power, but let's call it the red pill dating genre. These guys say, and this is pickup artists, manosphere, that whole section, they say that in response to how women are, and what are women? Women are hypergamous. Hypergamous meaning they have sex with many, many guys.
That's not what hypergamy means. Hypergamy means a woman is going to prioritize the best option at all times. So if there's a man that they think is a better option that then comes into their life while she's with a man that's a lesser option, she's going to gravitate towards the guy that she feels is the better option. Hypergamy is not being a whore, essentially. I can't think of the proper terminology. Hypergamy is not debauchery, I guess. I mean, I guess it kind
They
of
have
is.
sex with the best looking, the tallest, the strongest, the most successful, the highest sexual marketplace value men. And in response to hypergamy, which is that women are hypersexual, in response to the one-sided nature of divorce laws and marriage as an institution and feminism, Tate says marriage no longer offers value to young men, at least monogamous marriage does not. So instead, we need to bypass marriage, common law marriage, religious marriage, and we need to basically just focus on impregnating women and not enter into this arrangement, which is actually has a lot of risks for men instead. Matt Walsh, on the other hand, he's Catholic. I would say he's a traditional Catholic and a conservative. And he's advancing the Catholic Christian view on marriage, which is that marriage is a sacrament. Jesus Christ elevated marriage to the level of a sacrament. And a man and a woman in marriage are joined and become one flesh. It's a spiritual bond before God for the purpose of procreation. That the procreative love between a husband and a wife is special, and it's an indissoluble union, and it is spiritual. It's a spiritual covenant before God. It's actually elevated to one of the 7 sacraments, and it's holy. And whether or not there are risks, or regardless of the question,
It's a very beautiful way he framed marriage. I like
of
that.
value proposition, it is a vocation that is good for men and women. And that's Matt Walsh's argument. And he comes at it, let's say, from the trad position. So it's the red pill dating world versus trad world. It's this hedonistic, nihilistic, you could say grounded in reality. It's reactive. It's a reaction against feminism versus religion, versus the Christian religion, which is rooted in Catholic sexual morality, Catholic social teaching.
Oh, 1 second. Forgot to do something.
And a metaphysical view of the nature of men and women. This is the debate that's happening on Twitter. And I see that.
Do I like Kick so far? I do. They kind of let you go hog wild with whatever you want to say, which is really nice. I don't like censorship. But in order to get monetized on Kick, you have to average 50 viewers a stream. And that's kind of a lot. That's a lot more than I was expecting. So I'm sad that I won't be monetized on it for a while, for a good while. But I'm almost monetized on Twitch. So,
and this is what I wanted to point out tonight, because I feel like the two sides are talking past each other.
what is KCIP? I'm not sure what that is.
Here's my
I appreciate it as well. Thank you, sir.
So I, of course, am Catholic, and I believe in Catholic sexual morality. I believe that the only way to have moral, licit sexual conduct is between a man and a woman within a marriage for procreative purposes. It's a very narrow definition. So Catholics formally do not believe in masturbation, contraceptives, sex outside of marriage, premarital sex, or adultery. We don't believe in sodomy. That means oral sex, anal sex.
Basically make money from chat going fast and crazy for the amount of real views.
Pornography, anything, homosexuality, anything
Oh,
like that.
I need to get verified
Catholics
anyways?
believe
Okay,
all
for
of
sure.
that is illicit. It is not lawful according to the moral law. The only moral way to have sex is for the purpose of having kids. That means it's, forgive the expression, but it's vaginal. Don't want to be gross here. Don't want to be anatomical, but it's vaginal. It is without contraceptives. It's without any kind of birth control.
That's fundamentally untrue, because biblically the husband's wife, or the husband's body belongs to the wife, the wife's body belongs to the husband, and they're also meant to be enjoyed. It's not solely for the purpose of reproduction. It's pleasurous. There's nothing wrong with that. Lusting over your wife is not immoral. It is absolutely normal. I don't know why he would say that.
Between a man and a woman within marriage. And I believe in that. Now, of course, in this day and age, I think everybody's falling short of that in one way or another. And probably everybody always has. But that is the ideal. That is how it's supposed to be. And anything other than that is a mortal sin. And this is why we also have the sacrament of confession. Because especially now, with the way things are, people need the sacraments and the sacramentals. And, you know, that's why we have them, is to ask for forgiveness, because we're going to fall short. It's a difficult time. And we are tempted by the flesh. So that's my position. But, and there's a huge but on this, and this is where I think they're talking past each other. You've got Andrew Tate saying there's no value for marriage for young men. It's stupid. You're a sucker. You're naive if you're a part of it. I have a clan. I have many wives and many kids, and this is the only way it's going to work. And Matt Walsh is
It's because
saying
he's a Muslim
that's not
retard.
virtuous. The kids you're going to raise are not going to be well off because it's wrong. It's the fruit of the poisonous tree. We believe in God. We have to obey God. God has given us laws. We have to observe them. And these are laws that are in accordance with how reality was designed. We were designed, man and woman, we were created with this sacrament in mind, with the institution of marriage in mind. This is how God designed us. It is good for us. That is how we can have good families and good outcomes and virtuous people. And it's in essence, it is good. It is with regard for virtue. But something I saw during the debate really triggered me. And this speaks to maybe the essence of the problem they're missing. So Matt Walsh does this 15-minute monologue about how, in defense of traditional marriage, in defense of marriage, not even traditional, just marriage as is, as it exists in reality, is created and instituted by God, in defense of marriage. But I see a woman quote tweets the monologue. And
He dehumanizes women, and he invalidates the validity of their claims because they're women. And do I think women should be objective decision makers? Not particularly, but to pretend that their input is to pretend that their input's not valuable based off of immutable characteristics is ridiculous, because a woman's perspective is going to be valuable off the basis of it being different. So there can be men, there's a lot of men that are retards. There's a lot of women that are retards. But there's a lot of very intelligent men, and there's also a lot of very intelligent women. So when you frame it of, oh, well, woman, so I can just dismiss what she says, that's another thing he does that bothers me, because that's ridiculous. Just because all the women that you know are retards doesn't mean that all women are retards.
he's agreeing with Matt Walsh. And I'm reading the tweet, and the tweet says, this is from a woman: the most alpha male thing that a man can do is to get married to a good woman and stay faithful to her and fight to the gates of hell to stay married to her. And without even seeing who said it, I started to type up my reply. I copied the link. I was going to share it with my friends and say, oh my gosh, another trad person telling us that to be an alpha male, you need to give everything to your wife. You must be obedient to your wife. Your world must revolve around your wife. It's another woman telling us what a man should be. It's a woman instructing men. It's a woman claiming to defend traditional.
I knew this was going to be the direction this went. I knew it. He never fails.
Morality, claiming to defend Christian morality, but using it in a cynical way, moralizing us to uphold gynocentrism, to uphold women being at the center of social life, women having authority, women being liberated. And
love your wife as Christ loved the church. Men, love your wives as Christ loved the church. So he wants to quote the word and pretend that he's this virtuous Christian conservative man, and then ignores the word when one of his own personal virtues get in the way of that.
Copy it and say,
can't make this shit up, man.
A woman wagging her finger and telling men, you want to be an alpha male, this is what an alpha male is going to get married to me and can't leave the marriage. Women have no accountability. Men have to stay married no matter what. And that's what it means to be a man, is to stay married no matter what to your wife, who's perfect. Then I checked the name.
He's putting so many words in her mouth.
Who posted this? Hillary Crowder. Hillary Crowder posted this. For those that don't know, Hillary Crowder is Steven Crowder's ex-wife, who 2 years ago very publicly divorced Steven Crowder. Now, this was a Christian conservative marriage. Steven Crowder is a Christian conservative broadcaster, a Christian conservative culture warrior. And he found, I'm sure she considers herself a good woman, a good Christian woman. They got married. And because she didn't like how the marriage was going, she filed for divorce. And Steven Crowder.
Okay, that's. I slightly take back what I said, just a little bit. Even though he hates women and feels like a woman's input does not hold value, and he's very, very sexist, for her to say that, it's very ironic to say a man should stay married to his wife always when you divorced your husband. That's very ironic for her to say that. Made some chimichurri steak. Ooh, that sounds good.
Crowder had no say in the matter. She left him. She divorced him. And that wasn't enough. She then dragged his name through the mud in public, in a very public divorce.
She sure did.
All the documents were public. She took Ring camera footage, security camera footage of their backyard, and made public a recording of a private fight they had where he was a little bit mean to her. He told her, watch it, don't say that, and played it up like he was domestically abusing her.
That's crazy.
Which he wasn't. But even that wasn't enough. She then allied with his former colleagues, his enemies at Daily Wire like Candace Owens, and tried to ruin his career. It turned into an all-out assault on him and his life and him as a man. She made public detail.
The most important decision a man is going to make in his entire life. Forget a business decision, forget a friendship, forget signing a lease, paperwork. No. The most important decision a man is ever going to make in his life is who he chooses to marry. Because how do you marry somebody and you say, I'm gonna love you for the rest of my life, and you try and frame your relationship as men love your wives as Christ loved the church, and if you actually try to honor that and your woman is not on the same page and she ruins your life, or she throws a bunch of avalanches in your life and just makes things difficult for you, if a woman is not your piece, oh my gosh, bro. I've been engaged before too. Thank God that didn't work out. Cause it's so terrifying. You really, truly have to be so careful. Cause that is gonna stay with you for the rest of your life. Whether it works out or it doesn't. Jeez, man, that's terrifying. That honestly, probably my biggest fear in life. My second biggest fear. My first biggest fear is not becoming successful. I'm more afraid of not becoming successful than I am afraid of dying. Second biggest fear is actually marrying the wrong person. It's terrifying.
Cosmetic surgery to repair his sunken chest. She made public security camera footage from their home, a private discussion, a marital dispute. And then she allied with disgruntled former employees and co-workers to try to paint him not only to be an abusive husband and a horrible, vain person, but also a bad businessman and a hypocrite. This woman, this vile wench, this bitch, she is on Twitter telling men this is what it is to be an alpha male.
Yeah, that's
an alpha
crazy.
Male never leaves his wife no matter what.
That's crazy.
An alpha male marries a good Christian woman like me. Respectfully, maybe you need to sit this one out. You left your husband, you filed for divorce a grave sin. Divorce isn't real. Marriage is indissoluble. You destroyed your husband or tried to. She embodies every sin that characterizes the female gender. Gossip, rebellion, disobedience. And she dares to then instruct men and lecture men.
I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of spitting right now. I gotta give it to him. I gotta give him this one.
And in particular about marriage, and tell them you can never leave your wife. Well, what about you? You left your husband. Where's the accountability for you, sweetheart? And this gets to the heart of the matter of the whole trad thing. I'm not a trad. I'm done with trad. The trad thing is what you would call a simulacrum, which is to say that it is a representation of something that isn't real. People have an idea in their minds of what it means to be trad, but it's not real. Their imagination of what it is, it's a representation of a representation. It's totally divorced from reality. In their minds, they think of being trad as being a knight in shining armor, a medieval knight, a crusader, who puts villages to the sword for the love of his wife, for the romantic, carnal love of his wife. She is the focal point of his life, of his universe, and all of his characters.
You can't have things that are associated with your identity that you don't actually live authentically. You can't claim to be a trad wife, good woman, honest, God-fearing person, and then know them by their fruits. Never take a person at their word, take them at their actions. Unless you've already established a relationship of trust with that person. That's crazy, man. That's crazy she has the audacity to say something like that.
His masculinity is bound up in his obsession and fixation on her, and his obedience to her, and whether he fits her whims, her tastes, whether he provides for her, fights for her. But that's not real. That never happened. What's more, inside of the trad simulacrum, inside of the trad matrix, at the same time that the man is a knight in shining armor, a provider, a protector, fixated on the wife, the wife is absolved of all accountability, has no responsibilities. The husband, the man, is supposed to embody all the chivalrous values of the Middle Ages. But is the woman expected to embody the womanly values of the Middle Ages? That she's supposed to be quiet, silent in church, not instructing men, not talking about politics, but patient, obedient, submissive.
That not speaking in church thing is such a misconception. And when you break down what it actually says biblically, it was speaking to a specific person in a specific instance, and it's just wrong.
Absolutely
not even waste time on it.
There's no expectations on her. She can be an e-celebrity. She can be on Twitter scolding men. She can be sarcastic. She can be coarse, have a foul mouth. She can be rebellious. She can stand up to her husband. And if she really wants to, she can leave her husband if he's not doing what she wants him to do. And so what the trad matrix does is it says that a man has all of the responsibility, but none of the authority. He's the responsible party. If the marriage doesn't work, it's his fault. If the women aren't virtuous, it's his fault. It's his responsibility to provide, to protect. He needs to be pure. He needs to be strong. He needs to be courageous. He needs to be chaste. He needs to be pious. He needs to be all these things. He's responsible. He's the responsible party. He's held to account for his actions, for her actions, for the marriage, for society. But he has no authority over the woman. No authority over her. He cannot send her away. He cannot tell her where to go, how to dress, can't tell her to shut up. In the end, she can leave him and he can't do anything about it. So she has veto power over everything, over the marriage. She can take the kids. She can take his stuff. He's responsible, but
This is, oh my gosh, you gotta know who you're marrying, bro. You have to vet. You gotta vet that decision more than you vet any decision ever. Jeez.
yet has no authority over her or over the marriage or over the household. She can always claim she was abused. She could say he was emotionally abusive. She could say he raped me. You marry someone, which means you're going to have sex with them, but she can say he raped me. He was mean
It
to
is
me.
scary. It's terrifying.
He was emotionally, verbally abusive. If you raise your voice at someone, that's abuse. Now you can leave. And this is what the trads are unwilling to acknowledge. And this is why we're losing a lot of young people to Islam, to pagans, to hedonism. Because a lot of young men are saying, I don't have any time for this. I'm supposed to be the perfect picture of a male.
You don't marry somebody because they're hot. Man, I remember my dad would tell me at his job that he had all his coworkers that married these chicks just because they thought they were hot. And then 2 years later, they're going through the most tumultuous experience that they've ever had to deal with in their whole lives. Just, you got to pray about it, man. You have to know who you're dating. It's okay to be together for a couple years. You got to really know and trust that person and know that that's the relationship that God has for you. You got to pray about it, vet it. You have to have a foundation of biblical virtue. You have to, because if you don't, you're gonna screw yourself over because of your own ignorance. God already exemplified the kind of woman that a man should be looking for. Proverbs 31. If she's not either identical to or closely related to a Proverbs 31 woman, if you're still entertaining it, it's because you're stupid.
I'm supposed to be the knight from the Middle Ages, but also I'm supposed to
You know
be
better. Read the word.
sensitive, and I'm supposed to be everything and more. So much so I'm filled with contradictions. But what's the expectation for the women? Is there any expectation from them? Is there any accountability? Do we even have any authority over them at all? Can we control them at all? Absolutely not. Who would want responsibility over something that you have no authority over? If I lent you something and said, this is your responsibility.
My back hurts, man.
Anything that happens to it, it's your fault. But it wasn't even in your possession. It was in somebody else's possession. Somebody else was handling it. Would you feel comfortable about that?
Hell no.
Obviously not. And that's really what men are expected to do in marriage these days because of social and cultural expectations, because of the legal system, because of feminism. And that's a big problem.
Feminism is
and this
cancer.
Is why I've always been pushing back against this trad narrative. I don't think anybody in principle has a problem with marriage. Nobody in principle has a problem with the idea of gender roles. Women have their role and men have their role. Women have their responsibilities, men have their responsibilities. But part of the bargain is the man has authority over the house, over the wife, over the marriage. And if he doesn't have that, it's dysfunctional. It's broken. It can't work. You can't be responsible and not have authority. It is a systemic problem, and it renders it dysfunctional. And this is why so many people are having a problem with the idea of marriage. And so much of it is that women are using moralization, they're using Catholicism to get what they want. They're using guilt and shame about an emasculation against men to get what they want so that they can live however they want. You remember that girl? What was her name? The former OnlyFans star? Remember her? Where she made millions of dollars on OnlyFans and was scandalizing millions of men on the Whatever podcast, making lewd faces and gestures and everything like that. Nala, I think her name was. And then overnight, she was a trad girl. Now she's reformed. She's healed. If you have anything to say about it, you're a bad person. You're not a real man. A real man can handle that. Women are using this so there's no expectations for them, no accountability for them, and men have to pander to their tastes. To be an alpha male is to be obedient to a woman, to conform to a woman's idea of what it is to be a man. There's nothing manly about that at all. Any man that is looking to Hillary Crowder to explain to him what it is to be a man is not a man at all. This is a divorced woman who left her husband, and she is the nightmare scenario. She is literally
Feminism
the
has
nightmare
robbed
scenario
women of a better
that
life.
men
Women have never been able to
dread,
do
that
so
men
much and been so
commit
miserable.
Suicide over.
Yep.
That men would commit suicide to avoid.
It's about the size of it.
Any man that is looking to her, to this wench, to be instructed on.
Because freedom isn't liberating. Because freedom is hedonistic. If you're not living for something, if you're not living for God, you're living for nothing. You're living for hedonism and emptiness. If that's not the most important thing in your life, if you don't want to be obedient more than you want to be pleasured, you're just going to live a life of hedonism. And it's not going to be good for anybody.
She's going to teach us, a woman in general, but that woman is going to teach us what it is to, on anything, but to be a man, on morals, on masculinity. That's your first problem. And that's just a microcosm of what is happening everywhere.
Oh, thank you.
Men everywhere internalizing and defining themselves in response to how women perceive us.
So needy
and what
today.
women want from us. How women see themselves through our eyes, or how they prefer to. And that's got to stop. Men have to put their foot down and say, I will not be taught by a woman. I will not be instructed by a woman.
You can't say that as a blanket statement, because saying I will not be instructed by a woman, that, geez, you're shedding all over me. What that does is it creates a toxic negative feedback loop of his gullible followers thinking that a woman's perspective should be invalidated off the basis of it being from a woman. And that's ridiculous, because my mother is a genius and I get advice from my mom than anybody else. She's incredibly intelligent. So it's not women. I've had female teachers that I have so much respect for. I've had female supervisors that were incredible women and very, very intelligent. It's not don't take instruction from a woman. It's don't be a woman's footstool. You can have enough wherewithal to know when a woman is saying something valid and when she's not. So you can't just say, oh, I'm not going to be taught by a woman. Even if what you're saying has merit, I'm going to ignore it because you have a vagina. That's reductive and it's retarded. And it is why Nick Fuentes is such a miserable, lonely person.
If you want to be trad, you want to be Catholic.
I need to brush you.
Sexual and social morality. Then we got to tell women, hey, shut up. Shut up, shrew. Enough. It's time for that. You want.
Why are you shedding so much, asshole?
Trad? How about patriarchy? No more gynocentrism. How about patriarchy? Men need to say, shut up and go to your room. I'm the man of the house. I will not be taught what it is to be a man by a woman. I don't want to hear from a woman about politics. I don't want to hear from a woman about morality. I don't want to hear from a woman about what it is to be a man. It's enough already. Your job is to be patient and obedient and submissive. My job is to protect and provide and to lead and to run this household. You want to be trad? That's the program. And if the expectations are understood, then everybody can be happy. The women can be happy, the men can be happy. But if that expectation is not being observed...
This nigga's a loser. Oh my gosh, he's a loser. That is bananas. A marriage is a partnership. The man should have the final say. But to not consult your wife, to not consider your partner's perspective, is so reductive. If you don't marry a person that you can grow from, and that is intelligent, what the hell did you marry the person for in the first place? There's a lot of stupid women. Marry a smart one. This is crazy.
You're going to have a lot of problems, as evidenced by what happened to Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder did it right. He did it trad. Got a Christian marriage, conservative Christian marriage, but it didn't work because his wife,
maybe he ignored a lot of red flags. Let me see. I don't even know what this woman looks like. I'm kind of curious. Cornball. I'm gonna call you Cornelius. The second one? That's funny. Even if not, he's still good. Twin mom, do justice, love mercy, walk humbly. What a loser. The most alpha thing a man can do is marry and be faithful to a good woman for the entirety of his life and be willing to storm the gates of hell. Oh, man. Self-awareness has left the chat. Didn't you? Never mind. Storm the gates of hell. Yeah, that's wild. There's a lot of good women out there, but it ain't that hard for checking the red flags. Exactly. You're a poster child for why young men don't want to get married. Women like you think they're good, but in reality, you're literally the devil incarnate. Single mothers posting marital advice. Are you serious right now, comma, bitch? I'm subscribing to Muck Club now because of this tweet. Oh my gosh, get ratioed. Nigga thinks he's in Game of Thrones. I'm saying the most delusional thing I've ever shut up, you stupid bitch. Learn your place. Divorced woman and scumbag liar. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I know this dumbass has I have more followers than this retard. I know this lady has notifications turned off. For sure. Jeez, what an embarrassment.
It can't be that way. Nobody wants to talk about what's happening to the men. You know? That's the problem. And women, and by the way, here's what's funny. People are starting to talk about what's happening to men, and then women want to butt into that conversation. Men are helping other men and telling each other about the perils of pornography, for example, and about a promiscuous lifestyle and hedonism. And someone like Andrew Tate is a perfect example. He's trying to tell young men, you need to be dangerous. You need to work hard. You need to love work. You need to drink 10 cups of coffee a day and work all day. And you need to be dangerous. And you need to be a free thinker. And you can't care what people think about you. And men are helping other men in these times, and women want to butt in and say, yeah, and watching porn is cheating on me. It's about me. And you need to be trad. You need to hold the door open for me. Being trad is about how I feel now.
The women have so much of an ego when they have so much less legwork to do in a relationship. Because I believe in being a provider, but the thing is, that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to be able to provide not only for yourself, but for somebody else as well. You know how much work it takes to be able to make enough money to where you are subsidizing another person? I can't even do that right now. I would love to. I'm trying as hard as I can to. But if a man is going to bust his ass, a woman has to be his piece. She absolutely has to. And if you're being selfish, and if you're going to be selfish and you're going to prioritize your own personal momentary happiness over the longevity of a committed relationship, and you're going to just constantly cause issues, it's not good, man. It's really bad, actually. You have to be a helpmate. You can't create more issues for your partner and make life more difficult for them. Like, literally, the goal is to do the opposite of that. I can't. I'm in college right now. I don't believe in college. I hope you're going there for something that's worthwhile. I sure do. I hope the best for you. But I just want to make it with content, man. This shit is a grind, bro. Oh man, it's a grind.
You need to forgive me for being a whore.
Computer science?
You're not Trad if
Nice.
you're not forgiving me when I was a whore. Me. It's not about men. It's not about God. It's not about moral law. It's about how does this affect me as a woman? And it's got to be shut down at the source. Feminism must be eradicated. Feminism must be eradicated from our society. We need to go full on. I'm not going to say it. We're trying to be professional. But it must go completely. And if you're not on board with that, you have no business telling anybody else. You need to get married and be trad and do the trad thing. You know, it's very easy to say the wholesome chungus part and say, hey guys, we all just got to get married and that's what we're all supposed to do. Okay, you want to be a courageous defender of morality? You want to tell everybody what we're supposed to do? Then it's an obligation for men to say, women, submit to your husbands in everything, completely. They're the final word. Your job is to be quiet. Your job is to be patient. Your job is to make the home. You want to play that game? Male and female, he created them. Well, let's start being male and female then. I'm not going to be bossed around in my own home. I'm not going to be told by Hillary Crowder, hey man, you know what it is to be an alpha male? I'll let you know.
Hillary Crowder is just a
what you have to
retard.
say about an alpha male or marriage for that matter. Hillary Crowder. But that is what is going on. You have Matt Walsh fighting it, and then you have these like women that are instrumentalizing the church right behind them, chirping in their ear. Yeah, and another thing, Andrew Tate is a sexist pig. Don't fall for the. Do not be a simp. Do not be a simp. Do not fall for this crap.
In a way, he
You cannot
is.
fall for this
Let's
crap.
be honest.
Anyway, so that's that. So I'm weighing in on this. I'm not a polygamist, and I'm not a hedonist. I don't support that. I don't agree with what Andrew Tate is saying in his prescription, but he is 100% right about women. He is 100% right about the matriarchy. About
This guy just hates
Eurocentrism,
women, bro.
And it's a major blind spot for Catholics. And sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that's willing to say it, maybe because I'm not married.
He just hates women.
Everybody says that's my great weakness. They say, you're not married. You've never had a girlfriend. Maybe that's why I uniquely am able to say this, because so many of these other Catholic guys, they be in the doghouse if they say what I say, and then they go home to their wife. And their wife is going to put her hands on her hips and tap her foot and say, oh, you think I need to shut up? Oh, you think I need to blah, blah, blah?
Sometimes, yeah.
And they get henpecked and fucking nagged until they are.
And sometimes the man needs to shut up and listen. It goes both ways. No single person is going to be 100% right 100% of the time. Sometimes you're going to be right, and sometimes you're going to have the better idea, and sometimes what you say needs to go. But other times you might be wrong. You might be, you know what I'm saying, missing the point.
Dead. And it is the end of the male life cycle when they get married. And that is the story for so many men. And I've seen it. I have seen it with my fucking eyes. And you've seen it too. Many of you have lived it. So. And I won't do it. I'm not gonna be a party to that. Some people, they have to do what they have to do. I won't do it. Anyway. So and by the way, that's just true. So anyway, we're gonna move on though. We could talk about that all night, but
What? Look at this man's face. What woman is gonna look at this guy and be like, yeah, I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna submit to him and I'm gonna let him tell me what to do and rule over me? Because that's the kind of relationship he wants to have. I don't want to have a relationship where a woman just does everything I say. Because I don't have it all figured out all the time. I want somebody that is smart and has their own ideas, and if I'm tweaking, can course correct me. It's a partnership. It's not a dictatorship. I don't understand this.
Until you restore the authority of the man, then don't tell me about the responsibility of the man. Until you restore the fundamentals of how marriage works, I don't want to hear it, frankly. It's not responsible. And the last thing I'll say before I move on is this. Every one of them are hypocrites. Every one of them. Every single damn trad conservative who is out there telling young men, get married young, have more kids than you can afford.
That's not good advice. That's terrible advice.
Is a hypocrite. None of them did that. None of them are doing that. Almost down to a man, down to a woman. All of these trad conservatives, all these trad guys that are giving this reckless message, they all got married old. They all got married late. They got married in their late 20s, their early 30s. They're taking it slow. They're doing IVF. They're having kids late in life after they made lots of money, after their women had a career. When did Charlie Kirk get married? Did he get married when he was starting Turning Point USA when he was 20 years old? Or did he wait 10 years after he became friends with the president and made lots of money? When did he get married and have kids? When did Matt Walsh get married and have kids? When did Candace Owens get married and have kids? She was the latest one. She wanted to sit me down and read me the riot act. She got married when she was 29. That's pretty late for a woman. And she had her first kid, I think, a year after that, when she was 30, after she had a 10-year career in politics. And then they tell you, make him a sandwich. And they tell you, get married young and have more kids than you can afford. If that's such good advice, why didn't you take it? If that was such good advice, clearly it's not good enough for you. Is that for all us poor people?
He's right. He's right, but he's taking an easy dig at them because he doesn't like them. I feel like this is correct but unprincipled. The reason why I say that is because from what I understand, when they say that, I believe they're insinuating that the highest probability that you will have a successful life is by getting married younger and building a life with somebody. But it's very difficult for people to hear that when the people saying that didn't do that. So I understand what he's saying, but I haven't heard any of them say I did things exactly in the most efficient way possible. They just say to eliminate sexual deviancy, to eliminate sin, to have a fire under your ass to become successful. Getting married young would probably facilitate that better than staying single and being hedonistic. I think. I could be wrong. I don't know if any of them have tried to pretend or con their audience like they did what they're saying that they did. Or they did what they're saying you should do.
Is that for all us stupid people?
I don't know.
And for the rich and the connected and the powerful, they're going to preach, but they won't live it? Say what you want about me. At least I'm honest about my reservations about it. I don't go and say, I'm trad, I'm saving myself for marriage. I say, hey, I'm a freak. It's not for me. I don't want that right now. I don't like the bargain I'm getting. I don't want to do the dating ritual. I don't have this powerful sex drive. And you can get married if you want, but these are the risks. People don't like what I have to say. At least, hey, I'll take something I don't like that's honest. At least I'm leveling with you about where I'm at. So, not good. The trad thing is a big scam. Say what you want about Tate. He's living what he's preaching. He's a pimp. He's a degenerate. He's a hedonist. But he's living it. And it's not that these trad people fell short
that's
or
true.
something. They're just not really... They're just not really being straightforward at all. Get married young. Have more kids than you can afford. Make him a sandwich. I'm sorry, you have a career. You're a career woman. Your wife's a career woman. You got married late. You had kids late. And you're telling everybody else, oh, but for you, this is a really great idea. I don't know. Can you run Turning Point USA if you got married at 20 to some girl you met?
No.
From high school because you didn't go to college? Would that have been a good idea for you?
You sure
I
can.
don't think so. I mean, he got an arranged marriage. Candace met British royalty, the son of a British lord, and they got married after 6 weeks on Zoom. Is that?
He was also like the CEO of like Reddit or something.
Normal?
Telegram,
Can
some
everybody go and do
communication
that?
app.
Can anybody and everybody? Is that a good idea? That's great advice. When you're 20,
When you have millions and millions of dollars and you have just millions and millions of followers and influence and political pull, and you've written a book and you have podcasts and you have shows and you were hired by freaking what's that company, freaking the Jewish guy, Daily Wire. You were employed by the Daily Wire. For you to then say, "Oh, you need to go get married," that is kind of crazy. That's going to be lost on a lot of people. Like, okay, easy for you to say, Candace, who, if you wanted to just disappear from the public eye, you never have to work again for the rest of your life. Like, you wouldn't have to do anything, and then you probably still have a giant inheritance for your children if you spent your money wisely. It's very easy for people with money to say that, but money's probably the single reason why I'm not married right now. Probably. Like, the reason why I'm hesitant for kids is because of that aspect. Because I want to have my shit together. Because I don't want to not be able to afford diapers. I don't want to be in a position where we have to go without. And you can't always plan for every storm, but you can be pretty well prepared at the very least. So I guess I take it back. It is very hypocritical for them to say that.
After you have a 10-year career and you've made a lot of money, marry the son of a British lord who's worth $100 million over Zoom in an arranged marriage. Really good advice. Yeah, I'll do that. Sounds great. Anyway, all right, we got to move on. But it's like, does anybody else see this? Is anyone else going to call this out? Or are we going to have this fake debate about polygamy versus marriage? No one's, and I'm sorry, Andrew Tate, no white Americans are doing the polygamy thing. Like, that's, if you want to go and live in Romania and be a pimp with like Slavic whores, like maybe that's a viable option. But in America, like, nobody who grew up in like suburban Ohio, Mom, Dad, I'm going to get 5 wives and form a clan. I'm going to buy a warehouse and form a clan with my 5 wives. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
That's just not who we are, you know, but anyway. So, I mean, and I love Tate, and I think he's right. I don't agree with him on polygamy. But I just feel like we need to kind of break this stalemate and just say the obvious, like, women are the issue, or feminism, maybe better said. Feminism is the issue.
I think it's very much so blasphemy to advocate for godly righteousness and then also advocate for polygamy. Double-minded man is wicked in all his ways.
You know, men love women, and women are lovely when they're women. When they act like women. When they act like men, fucking hate them. Fucking hate them.
I agree with that.
They're horrible.
I agree with that.
They need to be put in their place. And that's not me, and I'm not like some sicko. I'm not like some weird, that doesn't come from like some weird sick place. I want to have like a normal relationship eventually with a normal woman and get married, and we're going to have fun and be funny and stuff like that. But, you know, you're a woman and I'm a man. Like, we got to set that straight. Like, I'm not coming at it from some weird place where it's like, you need to respect me. But it's like, you know, women.
I mean, you kind of are, though. You can't go on a 10-minute rant of women don't get to tell me what to do. I don't take instruction from a woman. I don't listen to a woman. You should invalidate everything a woman says and then say, "Oh, I'm not a weirdo. That's not the angle I'm coming from." Yeah, you just said it. You just said it 11 minutes ago. What are you talking about? Yes, you are coming at it from that perspective. And if you're not, you really need to do a better job of elaborating.
Can't be like stubborn, nagging bitches all the time. It's not becoming. It's not womanly. You want us to be manly, you got to be womanly. We could be happy, but you got to play your part. Anyway, all right, we're going to move on. We're going to dive into the news. That's my opinion on the Matt Walsh debate. Matt Walsh is going to go in and give this totally uninspired, marriage is a supernatural institution, and look, dudes, you just got to do it. And who is inspired? He is the most like uninspired, like boring mediocrity that has ever done broadcasting ever. And
he has no personality. I will say that Matt Walsh he's annoying.
I almost feel like it's punching down because he's just like a talentless hack. But I watch his stuff and I'm like, you are not him, dude. This is not tough.
Well, Nick's problem is he thinks that being adversarial to everything is advantageous to his movement. And it's not.